Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Jump Up Supercast Game Club. My name is Brandon, and I am your host today. And I got a nice, fresh pack of cards to open up. And what do I pull out first? Oh, it's just a common card, but it's a useful card. It's a will.
You can draw 2 more cards from your deck.
Oh, fuck? That's a bill.
That's true.
It sounds close, right?
It's close. I'm getting to the back of the pack here. Oh, I got an uncommon. Oh wow, it evolves from a will. I got an ills.
What? Okay.
And then in the back, I got a rare card. I got myself a Noah.
One of my attacks is flip a coin. If heads, you get paralyzed.
Oh, fuck you then.
So, fellas, speaking of trading cards, we played trading cards this week. Not in real life, mind you, though.
No.
We played them on a video game.
Yes.
And that video game was Pokemon Trading Card Game 2. Not the first one, but the sequel. Mm-hmm. The Invasion of Team GR. Also known as Pokemon Card GB2. Here comes Team GR. Oh Lord, they coming.
Yes.
Team
Okay.
GR, also known as Team Great Rocket. This was a sequel to the original Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy Color. This game only came out in Japan, was never released outside of that. Way back on March 28th, 2001. Mm-hmm. Same year that the Game Boy Advance came out, so very late Game Boy Color release. But yeah, we never got this game. And Will, you decided to have us play this game. Why don't you tell us a little bit about why you picked it?
So, I played the first Pokemon trading card game, like, a couple of years ago. And I was surprised at, like, how much there was to it. This was all during the heights of, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was popping off, Pokemon and the trading card game was popping off, so it makes sense that they would make a game of it. But, they gave, like, a world and a scenario and characters, and I was like, oh, this is surprising. And then I heard, oh man, there's a sequel that never came out. And so for the longest time, I thought, man, that'd be really cool to play. Found out there was an English patch, and I thought, well, what better way to make sure to actually motivate myself to play this game than doing it on the game club. And so it's just been this weird little mystery thing, because obviously have a lot of passion for Pokemon as a series, but this is this weird little game that I've never touched. So now we got the chance to play it.
Yeah, buddy. That's good. That's very good. I'm glad that you picked it, because I too had played the original game way back in the day when it first came out. I actually got it for Easter. Funny enough. Yeah. Way back in the day. And yeah, I really liked the original one too. I thought it was cool, and I was super into the card game back then. Mm-hmm. Originally was like one of those kids that just got the cards, never really learned how to play the card game, and when I did try to learn, I was too dumb to figure out how to actually do it the right way.
Yeah, I had the cards. I never played the card game.
I got the starter decks, and even then, I was just a little kid, so I would try to read the instructions, and me and my friends would just kind of make up our own rules, because we didn't know what the hell we were doing. This game really, taught me the rules.
Yeah, same.
I was
same. I was in the same situation as Ills. I had a bunch of cards. I actually got, an album. So, I was just collecting them. I had no idea how to play the fucking card game. But I learned it now. And now I'm actually kind of interested in getting into it, but I'm probably not going to.
Yikes.
It's expensive as a
that's I gave up on I build decks for Yu-Gi-Oh! I never touched Magic, thank God. But this one's interesting, but I'm not gonna get into that rabbit hole again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a rabbit hole, that's for sure.
It's funny because I worked at a middle school for 5 years with kids, and in the after school they would sometimes, after they were done with their homework, they would say hey, can we do Pokemon cards? This is right when Pokemon Go was blowing up real big, so they were bringing their cards, but they wouldn't know any of the rules either, right? They were just I play my Charizard Mega Evolution and do 700 damage, without applying energy or anything. And it was only because I played the trading card game a year before that I was hold on. Everyone, you're getting real wild here, but they didn't want to learn. They were I just want to do big moves. I want to do a lot of damage. I was okay, all right, you kids. So
that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember doing playing Yu-Gi-Oh way back in the day, like back in high school, and going to like tournaments and stuff, and like little kids were there who were like, "Oh, like, do you want to duel me?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, why not, kid?" Right? And it was so hard because like, you'd want to duel a kid to like, just because show him some fun, be like, "Yeah, I'll duel you," and like try to lose kind of, but like. The kids would not know how to play the game. They would just like summon anything they want, like without sacrificing or anything. And I'd just be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
I play Exodia.
Yeah. You just, at that point, you're like, I'm going to let the kid be a kid and just do what he wants.
No,
And especially at this point in the Pokemon trading card game's life cycle, where like they didn't put a limit on trainer cards. Like, there's now you can only play like one per turn and stuff.
Yeah.
You can really make some like really just rough decks when they let you just keep playing them forever, and it doesn't feel as bad whenever you're doing it against a computer versus another person who you're just watching get more and more frustrated as you're like playing 50 cards in a row.
Yeah, I had a turn where I had 2 bills in my hand. I used them. I got 4 cards, then I got Bill's transport. I landed. I got another 4 cards. It's just insane.
Yeah. I've done that a bunch in the game too. Yeah, you use a bill, you draw a bill. You use a bill, you draw another bill. It's like, okay.
Well, I mean, there's that, and there's also like a lot of customization. I mean, I was like using like Gust of Wind and then fucking switch energy search to do my special move on that fucking. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, they've definitely adjusted the card game in real life to stop.
Be a lot more balanced.
Yeah, it's a lot more balanced now. Back in the day too. If you didn't draw a basic Pokemon, you'd have to reshuffle your deck and draw 7 cards. You still have to do that now, but your opponent gets to draw an extra card every time you do it. So it forces you to not, just use a small number of Pokemon to only get the ones you want.
There was one deck I built that only had 5 Pokemon in it, and it was just relying upon that. Just like, if I'm gonna wait until I get the basic, but I'm gonna get that basic because let me tell you something. It's just going to be like a Zapdos. I'm just going to have it be out there forever because... So, like, yes, that type of stuff does not happen today because you would be giving them 50 cards.
Yes.
Wait,
would have their whole deck
couldn't you deck them?
I guess.
That is
perfect.
A potential world. Oh, no. This game, it's a weird one.
Yeah.
With that trainer restriction, they could only use 1 card per... Oh, man, that's fucking perfect. Oh, my God.
Oh, no. We've broken the game. We're going to Worlds next year.
So this game, you mentioned it a little bit before, like this, it's an RPG. It's a trading card game RPG that you walk around, overworld and challenge other traders to battle. The graphics, some of the sprites are ripped right out of Pokemon.
They're straight up red.
Makes sense. Sense.
Yeah.
Some of the character models, straight up taken right out of Pokemon. But a lot, I gotta say, with the sequel. There's a lot of kind of impressive things they do on with the graphics in the Game Boy Color. Nothing too crazy, but like you go in some of the new areas there's a whole second island that you go to, and some of the gyms are like really cool, like the waterfall.
I was about to say the water area was the one that was. I was like, dang, this is really cool. Yeah,
the fire with the lava effects and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of cool for Game Boy Color graphics. It looks good. They're very, they pop out. All the colors pop out. The overworld is nice.
The thing that I really thought looked nice was the coin. Like, I don't know why, but the coin looked like really good every time you flipped it.
It's pretty well animated. You're gonna see a lot of it, so it's good they put time into it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I had the Starmie coin. That was my favorite coin.
I used the
I like the Mew
coin.
I used the Mew coin. As soon as I got it, I was like, this is my coin.
It's so good.
But I do like, though, that they give you different coins. I don't think the first game had that at all. You were stuck with, like, the Chansey coin, and that was it.
Yeah, they gave you, like, a little list. When you would beat a master, it would just be, like, a little, like, medallion you would put in your case, like a badge, basically.
So I do want to touch just upon the first game, like, not too much, but I do kind of just want to touch upon it just to show, or at least talk about how much, this game has changed. There's not a ton. At its core, it's basically the same game. But they have added a decent amount of new things. Like we said, the coin, you get to choose your own coins. They've added a new set into this game. The first game had the base set, jungle and fossil, I think. and this one adds the Team Rocket set that introduces like the dark Pokemon. So they did add more cards to this game, as well as the ability to play as a boy or a girl. For the first game, you could only play as a boy.
Yeah, representation.
Yeah, which was good. You know, kind of around the same time as Crystal came out, so they were moving in that direction. Boy's name is Mark. Girl's name is Mint.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mint is such a better name, though.
Mint's a cool name. I think we all played as the girl.
We did?
Yes.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, I did too.
I did, same.
Yeah.
Well, her portrait's like way more elaborate. Like there's like Mark's just like he's wearing like only red and white, and he's just got a very basic bandana, and he's just Mint's got.
He looks
she
like a
pops
red
more.
rip-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's cool. It's because like you mentioned with the first game, like it's funny because the first half of this game is essentially you just playing through TCG 1 because
And-
it's
Exactly, basically, because the first game had no story really. It was, hey, you like trading cards, kid? Guess what? There's 8 different gyms around here. You beat all the gyms, and then you get to fight the like Elite Four of Pokemon trading card game. And there's no real routes or anything that you take in between. All you do is like get a world map and you select which club you want to go to, and that's it. That's the whole first game. There's absolutely no story. You just beat all the leaders, and then you fight the last 4, and you beat the game.
yeah.
That's all there is. This one, so they added Team Great Rockets. They had an evil organization.
They have a blimp.
They got a big blimp, and they're just using a big tractor beam to steal up everybody's Pokemon cards. And nobody can defend themselves no more, because they're like, well, I don't have cards, so I'm just going to do nothing.
And that's the only way to fight in this game.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
In this
great.
world, Pokemon cards are the end-all and be-all.
Yes.
it's hilarious. It's like
Very Yu-Gi-Oh!
yeah. Because it's like in the actual world of Pokemon, these Pokemon are like very powerful little creatures, so it makes sense that you would feel like, oh, I feel defenseless if someone has like a Pokemon and I don't. But when it's just like, oh no, I don't have a trading card to play, it's like everyone just agrees to this weird honor-bound system of doesn't matter if you're the leader of an evil organization, if someone can beat you in a trading card game, you have to disband. It's the only way.
Yeah, and you have to just randomly respect them.
It's so weird.
Give them all your respect.
It's so weird. It's like Pokemonception or some shit because like it's like a game within a game. Or, like
Yeah.
like their world is based off the world of another game.
Yeah. Like,
is
does the
going
game
on?
Pokemon exist in the world of Pokemon TCG?
It must.
Because Imakuni question mark is in this game, and that's a whole thing. Where in real, he's the weirdest thing because he's in the first game too. Because in real life, everyone loves the Poke Rap, right?
Yeah.
He essentially did the Poke Rap in Japan and a bunch of other Pokemon related songs, so he was associated with it over there. And so they were like, well, everyone loves Imakuni, let's put him in the game. And he's just this weird man in a black or a red jumpsuit, and he's just a strange individual, but
Yeah,
like,
and he hides in the corner, which is very weird.
yes, but like, he's from the real world, but he's in this game now. It's very confusing. How everything is structured.
It is. But you don't think about it too much. 'cause
No, I mean, it's fun.
honestly,
I find it charming more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, even in the game, who cares? But the story
Yeah.
doesn't really mean too much. Like, the most in-depth it gets is that your rival from the first game, Ronald, is here, and he's trying to go undercover to get inside, so he dresses up like a Grey Rocket member.
Yeah, I really like. Every time Ronald will show up, I'd be like, well, why? Why are you just Ronald? You're such a because he was like. I think it's kind of cool that like they kept the thing of him being far less of a dick because of the events of the first game. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I do like that they talk about you. Oh, you're the champion. You beat everybody. So they continue that.
Yeah, but it's still like the weirdest thing at the end is when spoilers for literally the last conversation with the final boss. But he's like, part of the reason I wanted to do it is because every Pokemon card should like have the chance to be played, and I want people to like build their decks differently. And you're like, wait, what? Like, no, I get this is if it's like real life Pokemon where they're these living creatures, but it's not like, oh man, every Pokemon card has the right to be played. Like that doesn't. It's a weird game. There were many times that I was like, what is happening in this weird little adventure? But
He's a social justice warrior for Pokemon cards.
there he is.
He wants all the cards to be treated equally.
Hey, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Grass energy, just as important as Charizard.
Okay.
Double man. Speaking of though, the energies and the general setup. Did you because they throw more decks at you in this game than they did in the first game? Like especially in the start, they're like, here's a deck to beat Team GR2. Here's a deck to beat different.
Yeah,
people.
I do like that. They give you lots and lots of cards right off the bat.
Yeah.
And they give you these preset decks to beat like the 4 Team GR members that you need to beat to get to Team GR Island. And yeah, I did like that. They give you lots of cards to use, and because once you get to Team GR Island, you need a lot of cards. Because once you get there, they throw a curveball at you that they never had in the first game, which was every single person that you fight requires a specific rule requirement to fight them.
Yes.
So they range from you have to have X cards in your deck to fire type Pokemon don't have a weakness, or
Retreat costs are less.
Yeah, the grass one was like any grass Pokemon that are immune to status effects. The electric one had extra every electric damage electric Pokemon do with plus 10 more damage.
Yeah.
But that includes both the opponent's and yours, so you can take advantage of that.
Which is cool.
you can.
Which I like those rule sets, but I don't like the ones that require you like the specific cards, like except the ones that said I only accept fire energy cards. You can't use any other energy cards. So it kind of makes you experiment with some builds. So like when I went into the electric guy, I was like only electric energy, no, nothing else. I was like, oh okay. So I tried out an electric deck, and I found out like some of the cards was actually decent. If I ever build an electric deck, I always stuck to my water, half grass one, because I had 3 Venonats, 3 Tangulas, and the status effects on them are so fucking strong. Like half the time I get them, half the time I don't, but when I do get them, I fucking destroy, and they can be lifesavers at really clutch times too.
Yeah.
Damn.
But then the water one is purely for like damage, like Gyarados, Blastoise, all those guys.
You actually use 2 types of energy in your
Yeah. It worked really well. Because I had a lot of energy search cards. So whenever I would pull those, I was like, okay, what Pokemon do I have out in the field, or what do I need? And I just get the appropriate energy one.
Yeah.
Then there's a cool thing about the game is that everybody's going to use different decks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I use pure water deck. That's it. Just straight up water. That's all I wanted. It's all I cared about. I would just mill the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
And Ails you were using like electric, right?
I was using water and electric. Well, not at the same time, but different decks.
You were switching between them, right?
Yeah. But electric at the end, definitely. Oh,
Yeah.
Man. So cool.
I had 2 decks that I would swap back and forth from. One was like primarily psychic, and one was like half electric, half like fighting / ground, because they sort of share an energy type.
Yeah.
And
Actually, you all used all different types, huh?
yeah, which is cool. I think that that's like part of the fun of the game is getting a chance to build different decks.
Yeah. It's
Which is
highly
why-
customizable. I was just going to say, like you can build the deck any way you want.
Yeah. And that's why when they do have these obligations of like, you have to have 6 of some form of the Ghastly line in your deck, right? Or you need to have like 4 EVs or whatever, right? Like that's when it becomes less fun because it takes away the element of customization. And you sort of,
Yeah, like the one. Yeah, I didn't get to like the fortress that everybody's complaining about, but I did run into really dumb ones. Like you have to have 4 Pikachus. Like I don't even like these cards. Like why? They're not useful to me in any sense, shape, or form.
You're basically just making me have to have 4 dead cards in my deck, and if I don't have enough of that type of Pokemon, that means I'm just gonna have to go hope to get them from packs, which is annoying.
God.
That's where the game took the worst possible fucking turn.
Well, I guess we're gonna get into it right now. That shit. Oh my god. Colorless Altar. I think there was only like 3 people in there, and every single one required you to have specific cards in your deck.
Yeah.
Like the first one was like 4 Pidgeys or 4 what was it, Spearows?
No, Right. I definitely want to explain this because this was the worst part about it, right? Because Ills got there before me. We were both in call playing the game.
Yeah.
And he gets there. Oh, I need 4 Pidgeys and 4 Jigglypuffs from these 2 guys. Mm-hmm. He's like, this is bullshit. I don't have them.
It was so rage-inducing because you get them basically at random, the cards from booster packs every time you beat somebody.
Yeah.
And I had no way of knowing.
You don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know which guy is going to give you which pack until you beat them.
And it's also...
Damn.
Okay.
Cool.
And on top of that, so you don't know which cards you're going to get, but you also don't know which guy is going to give out which pack. Okay?
Yeah.
So you have to go around and beat people, which, I mean, honestly, it could take 15, 20 minutes sometimes, depending on the person that you fight.
Oh, yeah.
It's annoying. Then you have to figure it out. Luckily, me and Nils were in the same call. I just beat a guy as he's talking about it, and a guy gives me a pack, and I get a Jigglypuff and a Pidgey in the same pack. Yeah. So I'm like, dude, you gotta come fight this guy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, in my head, here I am thinking, okay, cool. Well, I'm glad Ills told me this. I'm right here. I'm just gonna keep fighting this guy until I have 4 Pidgeys and 4 Jigglypuffs. Because why not? Guess what, though? Fucking psych. Because when I get there, and I wasted fucking all this time getting them, it was 4 fucking Spearows and 4 mysterious fossils that I needed.
Each
so it's
thing
random.
can be 3. It could be 3 different requirements for specifically only that one.
Yes.
Right. Like, because I looked it up because I didn't realize it was random when I was playing through the game. So I looked it up, and because you can because I got a good roll on the last guy because it was just 4 dark Pokemon, which I already had plenty of.
Yeah.
And so you're like, okay, that's fine. But then I had Jigglypuff and Pidgey were mine, and I had the Jigglypuff, so I didn't have the Pidgey, so I had to go grind for those. But like you said, you can't even prep for it because you don't know which of these 3 types of things you're going to get hit with, which is, I imagine for you having prepped for it made even more frustrating an experience.
Yeah, and then that's a stupid thing to put in the game.
Yeah, it's not.
It
smart.
really is. It's just a waste of time. Like, there's no way to know which ones you're gonna need. First of all, there's almost no chance that you're gonna have those because you don't get those booster packs very often. The ones that those cards come in at that point. And there's no way to know which booster pack drops from which person after you beat them. So if you played this game when it originally came out and the internet wasn't any help to you, holy shit, this was a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, wicked bad. I mean, the game tells you. I'll give it that. The game straight up is just like, well, if you don't have the cards, go fight people, until you get the packs that you need.
Yeah.
Like, and you can look up what cards come in what packs on the computer, but you still don't know what person to fight.
Yeah. You need to look up a guide that just tells you these guys give these booster packs, which is not.
Yeah.
When you have to do that, it means it's not. You did not design it well.
And then even then, you have to fight that guy multiple times to hope that the card comes in the booster pack.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Which is awful. Because then you could spend any amount of time. You don't even know. Because the game is just going to randomly give them to you. Yeah. I got pissed because I fought the same guy 3 times in a row. Fucking got nothing. I needed fucking 3 mysterious fossils. I fought a guy 3 times in a row, got nothing. And then I said, you know what? Fuck it. Save stating right before I open the pack. Then every time I open the pack, if I get it, no. If not, I'm gonna load the save state. I don't give a shit at this point because fuck you, game.
Yeah. That was pretty bad.
I mean, but to slightly pivot, but sort of on the same thing, because you mentioned that when you're running into someone, it can be the length of games can vary so wildly.
Yeah.
Whenever you do it, because it can go from literally they drew 1 Pokemon or you drew 1 Pokemon and just as soon as it's eliminated you're done, or it's over, to no, if you're doing a 6-card game and you're getting into later on where higher HP totals start adding up and it takes more and more turns to sort of build up your decks, it can go 15 to 20 minutes if you depending on how it goes.
That happened to me. Literally, the first duel I had outside of the tutorials, I fight a guy. I drew only 1 Pokemon to put on the active bench because I had the starter deck. I didn't have any other cards, and I didn't draw any other Pokemon to put on the bench.
Yeah.
So like they flip the coin, they go first. They bring out a Pokemon. I only have like 30 HP or 40 HP, I can't remember. They bring out a Pokemon that has a lot of damage. They put plus power on it, so it does extra damage. They roll heads to do the damage, and they just knock me out. And I didn't even get to move, and I lost. I was like, well.
Yeah, just to clarify, like, if you only have one active Pokemon and it loses, it's over.
Yeah, if you don't have anyone on your bench, yeah.
And the card thing he was talking about was that we each have prize cards, like you and the computer or the opponent each have prize cards, and the goal is to win those prize cards.
Yeah, so essentially because
their Pokemon.
Yeah,
because there's 6 prize cards, and it correlates with the video game where you can have 6 Pokemon in your party. So, you know, it's okay. Well, once you knock out 6 of their Pokemon, you win because you know.
Yeah.
And as Mills had mentioned it earlier, you can also do a thing called decking them, which basically means that you make them draw until they can't draw anymore, which is an automatic forfeit.
Oh, my favorite strategy.
Yeah, we abused that a few times.
I abused the fuck out of that.
Yeah, you did more than I did.
My favorite guy, because for a long time I just used Hitmonchan a whole lot, because he just has a really good, like, 1 energy, he has good base HP, because Pokemon that don't have to evolve are actually, like, way stronger in this game than they feel like they are in the actual mainline games, because you don't have to spend turns and rely on draws to get them to be up to par. But so I used him a whole lot. But I got a Dark Raichu in like one of the very first fights I had on the second island, and he has a move that it does 30 damage to whoever's on the field, but it has a chance basically every time to do up to I think 20 damage on everyone on their bench every time it does the attack. So
Right.
for the final fight, I got him. I just set everything up to him basically a whole lot, and it would be incredibly satisfying to like get that thing rolling. And essentially, he keeps sending out new Pokemon that were always like 1 hit away from being killed because they had just quietly been racking up damage the whole time on the bench.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the parts of like card games that is fun when like you make an archetype for a deck and it works, and like as the game still has the capacity for that, which is enjoyable. But you know, to tie it back to what you said earlier, it's only enjoyable when like, because there were Pokemon that I discovered by having the like only have a certain type of energy decks that I was like, this guy's cool. Like Dark Kadabra is really cool because he has a power that just you can discard a card and draw a new card. So basically, this gives you a second draw every single turn. So I would use him a whole lot. But like, if I instead had to fill my thing with 4 Eevees and 6 Pidgeots and 23 fossil cards, then like I can't do that. It doesn't have the capacity for discovery, and I feel like they misunderstood the parts of the game that were fun with that stuff.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like I get what they were trying to do, but at the same time they did it the wrong way.
Yeah, because even if they just gave you the cards and said build a deck around this, it still wouldn't be as fun because it's fulfilling. Just like, okay, I'm checking boxes isn't the fun part of this game.
No, yeah. It's very easy for the game to make you feel helpless sometimes, and this is what, like,
is a problem.
Yeah, that was like one of my major problems with this game. Like, the status effects are a bit overpowered, I think.
Yep, because there's literally
Poison.
a 50-50 chance you get them.
Yeah.
Poison is straight up. Sorry, poison is straight up broken.
Yeah.
Because you get poison, you get 10 after your turn. Your opponent goes 10 after their turn. Literally in between each turn. It should only be after your turn.
Yeah, because it's essentially 20 damage every turn, and like,
Yeah.
I mean, I get why Noah used the grass types, because like,
Tangela, because she has both paralysis and poison.
and they're really low energy costs, right?
Yes.
Like it's just this thing. It's it's really wild.
Yeah, like, man, it's so weird, like how hard the game could like fuck you, just like on a low energy card like move. I was fighting a Lickitung with my Gyarados, and like I had to stack, like, Gyarados needs a lot of energy to attack, but a Lickitung only needs 1, and he paralyzed me 10 times in a row and killed me.
The worst part is
10 times in a row.
It's on a coin flip. It's on a coin flip too, which is the worst part.
Yeah.
There really should be like some system of diminishing returns in that or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, because the thing that they did later is they basically just added a ton of trainer cards and a lot of Pokemon powers that counteract status ailments, right? because like there's the Snorlax card in this game that basically just can't be hit by any status ailments.
I love that card.
I love that card too.
He's a bit, I mean, yes, for a ton of reasons, but also because that's an incredibly useful tool to have in your back pocket. But like, they clearly, I think, saw that this was a problem later on, but like we're playing at the point where it had not yet been addressed, and so they just sort of do run rampant, especially.
Yeah, there needs to be, the game desperately needs just an option to give up.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
To
My God. Yes.
concede to Yu-Gi-Oh games. I remember playing them, especially the ones that follow the official rules. They do allow you to just give up at any point during your turn.
It's so it's so soul sucking to like be in the middle of a battle that you know you're gonna lose, but you can't do anything about it. Like, oh my God, I'm like, just kill me now. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, because it's funny because the punishment for losing is like basically nothing. It just pops you back out. You just go again. So it's like, if you're willing to be that fine with letting us sort of test things out and lose, then you should also just give us the option to just say, well, this isn't working. All right, I'm gonna back out. Right? Like, because there's running in regular Pokemon.
Yeah, but like that's the thing with this game is built like literally half and half luck, half strategy. Like the strategy part comes in from building your deck, coming up with a strategy of which Pokemon to use, how to bring them out, what their abilities are, what to put them in what situations. And then the other half is literally just, is it going to work, is it going to not? That's it.
Yeah.
So, you can be put in situations where you're getting fucking dominated because of there's a powerful Pokemon out. If you do have status effects like I did, with Tangela and Venonat, with the confusion, paralysis, and poison, like it can flip the situation around because of pure luck, because of the paralysis. Because with paralysis, you can't switch, you can't move, so it's basically giving you a free turn. And
I'd actually say that luck is more than 50% of this game. It's like 60.
In a way. I mean, that's the thing. To borrow from Will, the nature of the beast of trading card games is partially luck. It's always going to be luck because
you draw the cards you need.
Yeah,
you draw the cards you need at the right time. But this game relies very heavily on the luck factor with all of the coin flips. There's so many.
But you can
flips.
follow, like you did. You follow the strategy with the water Pokemon with Gyarados, essentially.
Yeah, the water Pokemon do not rely on coin flips at all.
Yeah. So that's pure power. So that's the strategy part. You can go for that strategy, and like whenever the opponent doesn't paralyze you or something, like they're left wide open, and you can just basically one shot them.
Than they will. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it all like it's clearly Pokemon. The Pokemon trading card game is I don't think known even now for its immaculate balance,
it's one of those situations where, like back in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I think it was, where everybody's basically broken. You can use any character and you can fucking infinitely combo somebody.
Sort of.
Kind of. I don't know. I remember which Marvel game it was specifically, but yeah, it was one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can use every character. There's a lot of Pokemon that are not that useful.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's some that are completely pointless to use.
I meant in the sense of the luck factor. Like, you can win or you can lose just as easily.
Yeah. Because I think it is cool that, like, there is sort of attributes given to each type, right? That, like, Grass is more known for doing status ailments. Like, Psychic generally has more Pokemon powers than, like, Fighting does, which is more damage-focused, or even, like, Water is a very similar thing. Like, it is cool, but it is also funny because they still have the type factors in there. So like so that means that you will still sometimes have, even though like, I mean, I had the Psychic deck as the backup because there were times that, you would be like, oh, this guy's resistant to electric, and like 30 damage being taken off every attack is a big difference, like
it's huge.
I just used my fighting Pokemon, or basically the ones that resisted electric.
Yeah. Which I mean, I think that's, it's neat that they do incorporate some of those elements of Pokemon, right? Where you're like, I'm going to have this guy basically for this gym because I know that my team overall has a weakness to it. And you're like, that's a neat element, but, it does still have a lot of little moments of frustration along the way. Set the text speed to fast if you ever want to play.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Set everything
text speed
to fastest.
Yeah, everything, all the way. Coin flips fast, just get them out of the way. Because you're going to be seeing them over and over and over and over
A
again.
million.
I mean, I use that strategy, so I like watching the coin flip, so it doesn't bother me that much. I did put the text on fast, though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I do want to quickly mention that I really enjoyed the music in this game a lot.
It was very catchy.
Yeah, they borrow some of the themes from the first game. I really I liked it in the first game, and I like it here. They have some new themes for like Team GR and everything, and I just really like it. The battle music's really cool, and overworld map. You know, it gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Imakuni's theme, beautiful theme, by the way. I love it.
I also like all the card art, by the way. Like,
Oh yeah.
Voltorb, best card art.
Oh, that one that Voltorb that's not a circle.
Yes.
yeah, the weird wobbly Voltorb. I mean, that's what he looks like in real life, right? There's that weird, like, because I was in call with Brandon, and he's like, this Onyx card does not look healthy. And then we looked at the actual Onyx card, and he does not look much better. Like, it's so. But I think it's cool that they were able to get like pretty good approximations of these real life artwork on these cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Game Boy.
Yeah.
Especially with some of them are 3D art. You know, you got computer generated art, and they turn it into an actual picture on the Game Boy.
Yeah, I felt like I was actually using the cards in my album. Like, I was like, I recognize so many of these cards. It's so cool.
Same, yeah, it was really cool.
So I wanted to ask, did you guys have like any favorite moments, like battle moments? I have like a few questions, but
There was in that I was gonna say it because we were talking about the one card thing earlier. Because in the final boss, you have to. It's like a sort of gauntlet, right? Like you have to beat him multiple times.
right.
The first round, I got him in like 2 turns, and I was like, all right. Like, I mean, it was just dumb luck, but I was like, that's at least I'm up 1. I'm okay. That made me laugh a lot because it was both like it sums up a lot of the game that like the final boss, if you just things come up in your favor, can be beat in 2 turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, playing it, I had a lot of fun with it, and then yeah, I think that was the last one that I played that I enjoyed a lot.
Do you guys have any other favorite moments, like favorite battles or like?
I mean,
strategies
most of my favorite battles were the ones that lasted 2 turns, and I just whooped the crap out of somebody. But it also there's a satisfaction to be had with my deck that I had that I used most often with water with Blastoise, because once I got Blastoise out, his Pokemon power was just you could attach as many water energies as you want a turn.
Yeah.
There's no 1 per turn limit. So, dude, I would stack. I'd have like fucking 2 Gyarados, fucking 2 Blastoise out there. I'd have Starmies on the bench. They'd all be waiting to go. I'm like, let's go, baby. I don't care what you do now. You done.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was fun, just building all that up. Even for just, you're just going to destroy this person, but you just keep adding energies every turn. It's so useless, but you're just doing it to prove a point.
Yeah. That is, like, whenever you get, like, sort of, like, the engine rolling, like, whenever you're just like, man, like, I'm hitting everything I want to be hitting and I'm drawing cards I need to, that is satisfying.
It is.
Yeah, it definitely can be when you have everything you want to do, and especially like when you get a bunch of trainer cards and you can just enact like a crazy fucking moment, like do amazing things in that moment.
Yeah, because there's a lot of time with these trading card games where in your mind you build a deck to do a certain strategy, and there's times where it just never comes together because the opponent gets better cards and you just don't get the cards you need. But when it does come together, it feels real good.
Yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say some of my favorite parts were definitely like decking opponents, like making them run out of cards to win that way. Man, oh man, there were so many fucking intense moments. I was like at the verge of losing, but I was just trying to hold them off. And there was this one time where I think I was fighting the guy from the fighting. No, it was the first guy at the colorless arena, and he had 1 prize card left, and I had 4 prize cards to win left. So he was about to beat me, and we both had 0 cards in the deck. And he went first, and he lost. Oh my
Dude, that's really good. That's I guess one other one is that I mentioned the psychic deck, and that was because I was fighting Ronald one time. He just showed up, he's like, let's have a little match. I forget which one it was. I think it was like the second time you fight him, but he destroyed me, and I was like, I do not want to lose to Ronald. I'm not gonna let this happen. And so I built the psychic deck, and I was like, let me do this, 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 and this, and then I went and I beat him super hard, and like, I mean, that's another moment too where you go and you look at this guy that beat you, and you're like, I'm gonna do this new thing, and it works. You're like, oh, I feel like a very smart person, even though it's just a children's trading card game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel good though when you lose to somebody and then you just like, you know what, I'm just gonna build a deck just to beat this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you guys have any favorite Pokemon that you like using?
Tangela, the lifesaver with the clutch, paralyzing, and poisons, and Venonat. Those are my two favorites. Side beam confuses.
I think me and you, Brandon, really like the level 6 Magikarp.
I loved it.
Oh my
it was
God.
so good.
Is it the one that knows flail?
No. He might.
He had I think it was Flop. He had.
Okay.
He had Flop,
Yeah.
and then the second move he had, if you have 3 water energies on him, you can automatically summon a Gyarados.
That's pretty good.
Oh my God, it's so good.
And Gyarados needed 3 water energies to use his best move, so it was to do 50 damage. So you could just instantly evolve your Magikarp. Well, not instantly, but after a few turns on the bench, send out that Magikarp, and boom, you got a Gyarados, even if you don't have one in your hand. And it was awesome.
So you can use that for Gyarados or Dark Gyarados, which those two ended up being my some of my favorites. I also really liked Dark Jolteon.
Mm-hmm.
And because he had this move that I think other people had moves like this, but he had a low energy move. I think it was like 1 energy. It did like 30 damage, and it made your opponent have to flip a coin every time they tried to attack you.
I remember I fought someone that had that, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah, so it could easily cancel out like their move if they just fail that. It was just really useful situationally.
Yeah.
And,
I do want to mention one time I tried to use that Magikarp, and I tried to use it, and it was like, well, you don't have a Gyarados. And I was like, what? And then I was like, fuck, both of my Gyarados are in my prize.
Yeah.
Right?
That happened to me a few times when I tried to summon someone with the Pokemon Trader card. And I was like, where the fuck is the
Pokemon Trader.
Revolution card? Where's Blastoise? Like, God fucking damn it.
What a good card Pokemon Trader was.
Oh, yeah. It's
easily one of my favorite trainer cards.
Yeah, it helps so much. Like, I think I was like in a situation where it was like, I was against this guy that was resistant to my attacks with my Tangela, and I couldn't really do damage. Well, not Tangela. I had another Pokemon now. I can't remember which one it was. But it was resistant to my attack, so I couldn't really damage it. And it was like, if I lose this Pokemon, I'm dead. I lose the match. And like, it was like 1-on-1, I think, 1 prize card each. And I was kind of stuck. I only had a Magikarp with 2 water energies on the bench. And I didn't have my Gyarados anywhere, so I was like, I can't do anything. And then it was like Pokemon Trader popped up, and I was like, oh my god! So I traded to one of my guys, I got Gyarados in there, evolved him, used Switch to swap out the damaged Pokemon that was about to die with Gyarados, got him in, like, boom, you're dead.
Yes. Oh man, Switch is so good too. Switch and Gust of Wind saved my life so many times.
Both very helpful.
Oh man,
Gust of Wind's so broken because you can choose what Pokemon you want.
Yeah, so you can bring out one that you can just one shot.
It was so funny. Like, I think on the last boss, he had like several Pokemon with huge amounts of energy, but then like 1 or 2 on his bench that had none. So I would just switch to that one, and he couldn't attack me, and they couldn't retreat. And I was like, oh man, perfect. I just decked you because of that. Oh, it's so good.
There was, I mentioned the Dark Raichu, but there was another one. It was a Dark Drowsy card, and it just made it that if either opponent's attack did more than 20 damage, it didn't hurt you. Which is...
Yo, fucking Mr. Mime had that
yes,
same...
both Mr. Mime and him both had it, and it's... I mean, I fought it against it one time, and I was like, this sucks, and then I was like, wait a minute. I'm just gonna use it. And then it gave... Because it was great to throw out there, like, late in the match after they had built up all their Pokemon, and suddenly they were like, everyone's too strong. I can't do anything, because everyone does more than 20 damage with their attack. And so there was a couple times that it saved my tail with the Psychic deck. That was really cool.
That's ruthless.
I used that Mr. Mime in real life one time against my friend, and he had nothing, and he couldn't do anything about it.
Ain't right.
What an asshole.
But we had to do it.
It's a broken ass card, man. Some of the cards were a little bit broke, but
I wouldn't be your friend after that.
So, guys,
Yes, sir.
after we talked about Pokemon trading card game, I gotta know. People gotta know. Would you recommend them to play this game? Will, you picked a game. I'm gonna start with you.
Okay. I mean, it's obviously never got officially released in English, so if you want to download it, you're clearly gonna have to show some level of interest. If you played the Pokemon trading card game as a kid, especially, I would recommend it because I think this has all the stuff that one has plus more. So like, if you were picking between the two, I would go with this one. And if you want to just sort of go back and actually like learn this card game that you that you did not understand as a kid, there are far worse ways to do it. So sure, I would recommend it if you have interest in the card game.
Okay. Noah.
Yeah, I mean, I never really got into like the card game itself. I've always loved Pokemon though, so it's interesting to see it like in a different format, like playing Pokemon in a different format. I mean, Pokemon in general has like a lot of spin-off games which are kind of bad, but this is one of the good ones. So yeah, definitely would recommend it. It's fun.
Okay. I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna just say that I would, if you are into Pokemon, into the card game, have played the first one, or just are interested in it, in general. Will had a good point. If you never played either one, but you're interested in playing one, probably go with this one. It's got more cards. It just has more to it. So, just if you're gonna pick one, just pick this one. Definitely, 100%. So if you're into it, yes. If you have no interest in trading card games at all, the answer is obviously going to be no.
Yeah.
All right.
Ills.
I'm a little bit torn. Like, I want to say no because this game can get very frustrating and it's also very, very slow. But there are times where, I mean, there are high highs and very low lows. Like the highest highs are just like really, really good. Like when I decked the last boss twice in both matches I had to fight him, I was like, yep, I'm so into this. But there were a lot of times where I just wanted the game to fucking end.
Yeah, especially that colorless. At that point, I really wanted it to
Oh
end.
yeah.
Well, now that we got that out of the way, guys, it's time to add Pokemon Trading Card Game 2. Here comes Team GR. Oh Lord, they come.
Oh, Lord.
To the list. So, Will,
Yeah, dude.
what you thinking, man? Where you think this game should go?
So, I mean, we've talked about this a fair amount. Don't want to go over too much, but I think ultimately, Ills touched on a thing where it's just like there's high highs and low lows. But I think it averaged out to being a pretty enjoyable experience. But I think I would probably put it around the like 70 to 74 range.
Okay.
So like in between Mario Tennis Aces and Federation Force, somewhere in there, because I think that, I think I enjoyed playing it more than like the first Mortal Kombat, for example. But I don't know if I would put it above Mario Bros. Or Kirby.
I think I wanted a little bit lower, like maybe underneath Legacy of Goku 2. What do you guys think?
I mean, honestly, I was thinking even lower than that.
Wow.
Wow.
I was thinking like above like One Finger Death Punch.
Damn.
But
Why do you want that low?
I mean, I can see like below Legacy Goku too. I mean,
Question, removed from all this, is God Hand and Mark of Kree too high? I feel like they are.
Too high?
No.
Oh my God.
Not too high.
Maybe
It
I
could be
just
higher, actually, but anyway.
Oh, God hand's too high.
I feel like
God Hand is probably maybe
No,
too high.
it is fine. It could be
I think I'll put One Finger Death Punch above both of them. I think about it. But either way,
no.
let's see here.
I'm looking at around where Will was looking at too.
That's where I was looking initially, but then I saw Legacy of Goku 2. I was like, nah, Legacy of Goku 2 is better.
Yeah, it's hard.
In some
I don't know.
aspects, yes, but I don't know. It's
Yeah, I mean, the weird thing is, like, I would put it above, like... I think it's harder to put it above Legacy of Goku 2 than, like, Nier or Metroid Prime Federation Force, weirdly. I don't know. This is the list. This is how it is. Let's see.
I wouldn't mind putting...
We're in the right area.
right.
I feel like we're in the right area.
We're getting close.
I wouldn't mind...
Yeah.
Where'd you say, Will? Like around 73-ish, you said?
Yeah.
I want to put Federation Force...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd put it above Mario 2. New Super Mario Brothers 2.
No.
Damn. Conceding the Legacy of Goku? Damn.
Legacy Goku 2 is a good game, though.
I think I'll put it at 73. I can go with that.
Because I think that it is neat how it brings elements of like the actual Pokemon game into a RPG that clearly is like taking from but is still different, and some of the ways that it does translate those elements I think is really cool and interesting. You know, I certainly wouldn't claim that it's the greatest trading card game system ever developed, or you know, but like it has it had enough stuff to where I was continually had a lot of little surprises along the way that did help me keep going even during the moments of frustration. That I think make me enjoy it more than a game like, you know,
Yeah.
Win Back
well,
2
I
or
did
anything
also
like
have like the moments of frustration where I had to find those fucking specific cards. But like,
Oh, yeah.
I feel that is kind of unfair because if I didn't have a time restriction, I feel like I'd be able to enjoy this game even more. Like, I wouldn't mind it. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go fight more guys, get more cards, maybe I'll find like a new strategy, like a new interesting strategy, because I like deck building. So
I was thinking that, like, I try to keep that cognizant, you know, I try to keep that thought in my mind that, you know, it's important to evaluate these games, thinking about them not just because you have a time limit, you know, so you can get easily more frustrated knowing that you have a time limit, so I try to make sure not to do that. But there's just like how slow the game is and the ability to like that you can't forfeit. Like, even if there wasn't a time limit, I'd still hate that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
No, I hate it, but I wouldn't have hated it to that extent. Because I liked the fighting the battles are fun. Like, I never like ran up to a train and was like, oh, I gotta fight this guy now. So, you know?
No, yeah, it's just that I couldn't get away from whenever I knew it was a losing battle. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm willing to concede if you want to go up to 73. It's not that big of a deal.
I feel like I'm fine with that.
Because there are good, like I said, there are highs to this game. There's something about Win Back 2 that I was thinking about. It's kind of flat the whole time. You never really feel like there's a high point to it.
To Win Back 2?
Yeah.
No, it's a weird game.
It's a very in the middle game.
There's like nothing really that wrong with it, but there's really nothing that great that you're gonna tell anybody about ever. Like, I'm never gonna talk about Win Back 2 outside of this podcast.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Like, the highs of this game eclipse like anything that Win Back 2 could have given me, or most of the games below it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with putting it above Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 1 is like just outdone by every single one of its sequels.
Yeah.
It's pretty bare bones.
I mean, fair enough. It is the first of its game, like a series.
It is.
Yeah.
It paved
Has
the
to
way
start
for
somewhere,
a lot of things, but yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right, so that's going to put it at number 73, Pokemon TCG 2. Here comes Team GR. So around it is number 71, game we just added this week, Kirby's Dream Land. Number 72, New Super Mario Brothers 2. 73, Pokemon TCG 2. Here comes GR. What a mouthful. 74, Mortal Kombat. Number 75, Metroid Prime Federation Force. Definitely not Metroid Prime.
Oh, come
1,
on, guys. What are
be
you doing?
way, way above. If this was Metroid Prime 1, oh man. Love that game. But that is it for the list portion.
There we go.
Now, guys, We're gonna do a couple plugs here for a minute, and then we're gonna find out what we're playing next. So just bear with us for a second. Guys, if you listened to this podcast and you enjoyed it and you had a fun time, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell everybody you know, tell somebody on the internet. Also, if you really liked it, make sure you follow us on all sorts of social media.
You could also follow the
Facebook.
list on the paste bin below.
Hey,
There we go.
I guess not.
There is a description of the list in the pastement in the description. So just, if you're like, what the fuck was that? What did I just listen to? Look at the list now. There you go. That's what it was. God damn it. One day we're going to have that shit down. But follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us, even more importantly, on Twitter. Because if you want to know when the episodes are going to go up, just follow us, on social media. And we're going to be like, hey, yo, what up, bro? Here's a new episode. Fucking listen to that shit. Also, on SoundCloud, we are on there. That's where we mostly upload. So, got to follow us on there. Got to follow us on iTunes. Rate us 5 stars. Do us all a favor. Also, YouTube. Boom, we back on YouTube, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Ills has been uploading the episodes, so I'm sure you can find us on there. Maybe you're listening to us right now on YouTube. Who knows? Who the fuck knows nothing?
All right.
We got a Twitch, so follow us on Twitch as well. Sometimes we play video games on there. Twitch.tv/Jump Up Supercast. What else?
What else?
My friend Ills, it's your turn, man. I know you're excited. You gotta be pumped.
Oh.
You got to pick another game. What'd you pick?
Oh yeah. All right. So
pumped.
back in the old days of the Wii, it was a very special time and a very special operation called Operation Rainfall.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys know about it. But
I
it was
know
the third
about it.
game
Oh no.
that I never got to play,
Oh no.
and it's called Pandora's Tower.
Yay!
All right.
Baby.
We did not do the last story. We're fine.
Yeah.
Why, is that
gonna be
bad
a long
or
2
something?
weeks.
No, they're all supposed to be
long
very
game.
good, and I never really heard much
It's just very long.
beyond like the initial impressions of this game, but I have always wanted to play it, so let's do it.
Yay.
All right.
I was actually, I always wanted to try the other 2 games besides Xenoblade. Xenoblade was the only one from Operation Rainfall that I played.
No, I was just
Man,
I was just worried that we were going to do a 60-hour game with the last story, and I was like, oh boy.
here we go. Brandon, Operation Rainfall, playing 2 games at once.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's true. All right.
So that's gonna be fun. I've also owned this game for a very long time and never ended up getting around to playing
too.
it. So knocking games off my backlog. Thank
I
you.
did it for you, Brendan. Actually, I did it
Appreciate
for me, but
So guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you all for listening. I want to thank Noah and Will and Ills once again for joining us here today, playing video games. Check back in 2 weeks when we talk about Pandora's Tower. Thank you again. Go play some video games. Have a great day and just be nice.